Okie dokie. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll get the stream going. 1, 2, 3, and go. What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? How y'all doing today? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. Welcome to the upgrade. The upgrade. Oh, man. Listen, it's going to be a beautiful one, man. I'll tell you what. Had a nice long vacation. And what I mean by vacation, I mean I was going on another road trip. And it was good. It was very good for me. It cleared my mind, man. It was great. I loved it. Oh my God. I could tell I was getting stressed the last couple of years. I mean, this is the first real vacation I had in a long time. You know, where I really got to relax and I didn't have obligations. I mean, I had a few obligations because I'm a workaholic, but I didn't kill myself. You know what I mean? Oh, I shouldn't have said that. YouTube's gonna take that literally. Oh man. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the beautiful show, man. The Sunbeam, okay? The uplifting, the beautiful, the uplifting, fantastic show, okay? It's supposed to make you feel good. I hope it makes you feel good. I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. You be the judge, okay? You be the judge. Guys, I'd be lying if I said I didn't learn a lot about myself and about life and about managing your energy, man. Don't underestimate that. That is underrated. Look what happened to my hair. Look what happened to my hair. Look at all that stress. Look what it did to me. Now I gotta shave it. Put some oil so it can regrow and it's not all messed up. Got me stressed out, losing everything. It's ridiculous. I was losing sleep. Oh my God. I was driven out working. I was overworked. Boy, I tell you what, I'm thinking about walking out right now. Thinking about walking around right now, okay? Let me tell you something, okay? If you have, and I'm not trying to alienate anybody, all right? This isn't to alienate anyone, okay? It's not to alienate anyone. But if you have a good family, right? You have people who care about you. You have a good family. You have a good mom and dad, sibling. I don't care if it's just one. Even if it's one, utilize them. And what I mean by that is talk to them, reach out to them. Okay, be friends with them. Try to at least, if they're good. That's what I'm saying. If they're good people, right? They're good people, and they are a positive aspect of your life. Stay connected. Okay, stay connected. Don't do what I did. Okay, I'm very introverted, kind of weird. It's like I got that. I'm definitely that yin yang. I got that yin yang about me. I'm introverted, extroverted. I'm extroverted. I'm doing this, right? I talk to people. I'm doing this. I'm introverted in that I'm very methodical. Do my work, I don't try to it's hard to call out of the blue for me. You know what I mean? I try to find a good reason. Now I learned a very valuable lesson. Don't do what I did. Don't look for a reason to talk to your family. Just talk to your family. Talk to people. It's like cold approaches. Treat it like cold approaches. Maybe not like that, but you know what I mean. Treat it like cold approaches. Just call them up. If you feel like, I want to talk to someone, that's the time to talk to your family. It is 100%. What's up, fam? What's up, 89? What's up, Sam? What's up, Varenz? Man, this is great. Got everybody here. Listen, I'm telling you, man. It is 100%. Let's say you have a bad family, okay? Which people do have. Okay, don't worry about that. Go for the ones that are good. Okay, that doesn't mean it's your life. And I've been saying this since day one. It's your life. Make it work for you. Okay, what I mean by that is you don't have to talk to the people you don't want to talk to. Go for the people you do. Okay, that's enough. It's your life. Okay, make it work for you. So I went and I had my trip. Okay, I went and I visited family, a lot of relatives that I didn't visit for a very, very long time, and I've been always meaning to. But that's the problem with life. You get so busy with these stupid jobs that are irrelevant. You work in the 9 to 5 slave place. That's why I originally said last year, almost a year ago now, rug your job. Not because of just the that you hate the place or whatever. That wasn't the only reason. I mean, it was one of the reasons, but it wasn't the only reason. The big reason was because time is ticking by, right? And one day your family's gonna go and you're gonna go, and at the end of the day, it's your life, right? You want to make the most of what you got. Whatever little you have or however much you have, you want to make it work for you. You don't want to remember 30, 40 years of your life being in that fuck place, pardon my French, that terrible place. You don't want to remember that, right? So the idea is to like find the time, right? Don't let that place take over your time after work. Because my problem was I had the problem of thinking about work outside of work. And I think it's because it's really your work ethic, right? If you're a really hard worker, it might happen where you think about work. That's not everybody. You can still be a good worker, a hard worker, and not think about work. In my opinion, that's a skill and a trait and a perspective, all wrapped up in one. Being able to disconnect and say, I don't care, and that phone call that comes in your way, I don't care. It's crazy. 89 say, Yin look like an anime character. Thank you. Wait a minute. Yo, man, I got this. I don't even know where I got these from. I was traveling. I said, I like those. Grab those right off the shelf. What was I even talking about? I can't remember what I was talking about. I did a cold approach while I was grabbing these, by the way. That's how I ended up with these. It stuck with me. I said, I like these. I like them. I have the other ones that are colorful and everything, and they're nice. But these, for some reason, they really kind of just pop for me. They really do it for me. They got that extra additional. You're right. They probably do kind of look like a anime character. And that probably works because these 20 somethings today. That's what appeals to them. I mean, that's what they like. And to be quite honest, I feel good. They feel good. I don't see the problem with talking to people that gives you a positive experience. So yeah, I think that's how it happened, really. I mean, that's just it was so spontaneous. I was like, yoink, I'm buying this. It kind of goes great with the whole alien stuff too. So I'll probably use this. Let me see. ZolYin said somebody rugged there. Listen, I'm telling you, man. I you know what it was? I was borderline walking out the door at my job like 2 or 3 weeks ago, whatever. I was gonna just walk out. I was so angry. I was like, man, I'm doing everything. This place is a disaster. What's the point? And then I thought to myself, I'm going on vacation. I'm doing it. I got a ton of leave. Let's go. My leave is out the wazoo. Let's do it. So I did it. I said, yoink, I'm out. And I left. I didn't even give notice. I put it in the thing. I put it in the system. Done. I'm out. Bought my plane ticket. Return because I was driving on my way too. And by the way, I tell you right now, what was the place I went to? I stopped by at Wisconsin. I can't remember where, but I'll tell you right now, driving in the country is so therapeutic. Driving across America is so therapeutic. The first time you do it, you're kind of nervous. You don't really know if you're gonna get lost. But once you do it the first time, it's over. Like you're done. You're addicted. You're gonna be doing it. You're not too worried about getting lost. It's normal. Like, oh, I went the wrong way. Let's go the other way. The GPS ain't working. I know what I'm doing. And even if you don't know what you're doing, you got the old-fashioned map. You just follow the road and you get the way you're going. Hopefully you've been down that road before. That's kind of the gimme. You gotta be somewhat experienced. It's better for you if you are somewhat experienced. You got more confidence when you're going on the road instead of going 40 or 50 on the freeway or whatever, you're gonna be going because you're nervous, right? You're thinking, am I going the wrong way? You're just gonna hit the max that you're legally allowed to do. I know what's happening. You can't trick me. You can't trick me. I do not speed. No. We don't speed here. We follow every law in the book at all times, every day. Okay, I can afford to drive across America. Humble brag. Oh man, I don't know if it's a humble brag. I would say, one day you too shall drive across the road. I'm rooting for you. It's great, man. It feels great. Also, you don't care about cold approaches anymore. You don't feel what I mean by that. You don't feel like the stress is gone. You just talk to whoever you want to talk to. And it feels great. The only thing I'm still working on is when you see someone, when you see a girl you want to talk to, and you're going one direction and she's going the other direction, and you're trying not to you're trying not to trip over your foot when you go back to talk to her. That's the one trick. I'm still I'm clumsy, so that's who I am. I've accepted I'm clumsy, so I'm not really gonna. I use it to my advantage now. I'm I fell. Look at me. I'm a clumsy fool. How's it going? I'm Yin. How are you? And you don't do the handshake if you're. Don't do what I did. I did the handshake and that made me fall again. So that was not good. Yeah, that didn't work out so well. But hey, at least I didn't fall on my face. This time. You gotta have fun. You gotta be, you gotta make fun of yourself a little bit. You can't let life get under your skin. You can't let people get under your skin. Life is short. Have fun. Don't take yourself too seriously, and everything in the end, God willing, will work out. You know what I mean? I want to talk about family a little bit more. Speaking of not taking yourself too seriously, I think one aspect that really helped me was when I, growing up, one of the things that helped me have more, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say being able to look back with wiser eyes is learning to not take myself too seriously. Because when I was growing up, I took myself way too seriously. I was an angry person. Full disclosure, I was a very angry person in my 20s and my teens and my 20s, early 20s. I was a very angry person. I'm not proud of that person, okay? I would say, very stereotypical, reactionary kind of reactions to people, right? Someone hits you, you instinctively knock them flat on their face, that kind of thing. But then again, that's a little bit more nuanced. But you know what I mean? Someone says something to you, and then you react, and it's not good. It's not something I'm proud of. Sometimes it comes back, and then you have to deal with it, right? 89 says Klaus gonna get under that skin. Oh no, not the Klaus. I shouldn't have said Klaus, man. That was a mistake, man. You talking about Santa Claus, right? Right? Harish P says angry Yin is hard to imagine. Sullivan says angry black man me. Yo, I'm pretty sure also that contributed to this, this stuff too. I'm sure that because my dad has a full head of hair. It is embarrassing, man. It is embarrassing having this, and my dad full blown great lineup, great hairline. Nobody in my mom's side is bald. Nobody in my dad's side is bald or whatever, right? So I know it's on me. It's full disclosure. I know it's not hereditary. It's my own foolishness, right? Being in control of your emotions has become like a superpower. And I think also it helps you live longer. I think I truly believe not being angry will help you live longer. And I'm not saying anger isn't useful. It is useful. You can use it and make it a tool. Like you're angry about a workplace you're in, or whatever you're doing in life that's pissing you off, or whatever people are doing to you that's pissing you off, whatever. I think it is useful to use that as fuel to change that about yourself or about your life, but or remove yourself from that situation. But I think long term is a bad idea. I think long term is unhealthy. I suffered definitely. I for sure have suffered, and I would say not suffered like a suffering thing, but I'm talking about um, not being the maximum I could have been, right? Because of anger, I could have eaten better. I could have exercised better, right? Could have done better in the gym, but instead you're thinking about something and you're like you got too focused on that instead of focusing on the whatever the task at hand is, right? And also when you're buying food, for me it was always like when I was angry and I was like, I ain't got time to cook. I'm gonna buy this, pre-made stuff, and that was a big mistake, So these things kind of compound into making bad decisions, and so that's something about myself I learned. Um, Black Agent Smith stole Morpheus's glasses. Turban hides a lot. Yeah, you wear a turban. Oh, that's, well, I knew ZolYin. Well, ZolYin was definitely unique, but I didn't know you wore a turban. I bought copper peptides for my hair. That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Where was I gonna go with that? Anyways, so I was a different person back then, and I had made amends with some family members. I'm talking about old relatives. I'm talking about like older cousins who were like, and I talked about this in the past, where I had one cousin who's always up to schemes and scams and tries to like, everyone has a everybody has a black sheep in their family. I think I would think so. Maybe I'm projecting. That's fine. I accept that. But I would like to imagine that everybody has a black sheep in their family where somebody's like the off beaten path, whether for good or for ill. Usually it's for ill. The person who's just really like either an embarrassment or they don't talk about him, And my whatchamacallit, my cousin, he was always up to schemes and scams, and he was good, man. I'm not even gonna lie. He was successful at it, and I'm not talking about like those Ponzi schemes and stuff like that. I mean, we're talking about a guy who, back in the day, found a way to the loopholes of all the contract stuff, of how to like get a place at very cheap prices, but it would be under the disability clause. Like, so did I tell you that story? Yo, I think I told you guys that story where it was his idea to be like pretending to be disabled and stuff. I was like, this is absolutely disgusting. By the way, this happened in another country. This happened in Europe, okay? So, not an American law broken, okay? I just want to let y'all know. Yo, I was like, I got the hell out of here. Oh my god, dude. Statute of limitation is passed, by the way, on that one. I just want to let y'all know that too. It's been years. Let me take this off. I'm talking way too loud. I got these headphones on. Oh my god. Let me say something. In my defense, I was 100% against it. At all times, I was against it. 100%. I was not with it. And even the way I'm smiling, I know I'm smiling about it because I'm remembering how ridiculous it was. I was actually pretty pissed. I'm not gonna lie. It was my anger stage at that time. I was like, you are absolutely gonna get us thrown in jail. You are absolutely gonna get us evicted. And I roomed with him for a while, when I was in Europe. It was fun, but it was very stressful. That's probably still contributed to this. You see a pattern here? Do you understand the pattern here? But again, I allowed myself to be put in that situation, right? So full disclosure, I take accountability for that. But anyways, let's go back to the main story. I ran into my cousin. We made amends, water under the bridge. We had a long conversation back and forth. We talked about all this stuff. And again, I'm not an emotional person, right? Y'all know me. I don't be like, oh my God, and then this and this. I'm not that kind of guy, right? But when I had the conversation with him, I just I put it all on the table. I said, listen, this is what these things you did, man. It cost me a lot of like a lot of stress, bro. Like you kind of ruined a lot of aspects of the vacations and the trip. I should have been, studying and stuff like that, right? But my point is, we made amends, right? And there was stuff I was an angry person. There's stuff I did. I was petty. I was doing stuff too. I was getting him in trouble. I was fighting other kids, man, in the neighborhood. So I was causing him a whole lot of headache. So it was kind of like a mutual dislike. But again, made amends. I was very happy. It was very good. I think it was a very enjoyable experience. Talking to every single person. I truly believe you get strength from talking to your family. I really do. Hanging out with your family, I've been rejuvenated. It just really have been. Like I feel like a weight has been lifted, and like all that tension of like all the crap, what's important, what I thought was important, wasn't actually important. A job I'm doing, it's not important. At the end of the day, I would easily be, again, as fulfilled in my job, whatever it is, as long as I have my family, right? As long as I have my sense of self, my own identity, who I am, knowing who I am as a man and what I'm about. And I'm following my dream. I'm following what I want to do. I'm doing the show. I'm writing my book. I'm doing my thing. I'm traveling. I'm making things happen. I'm cold approaching. I'm enjoying life, right? I'm making the most of myself. And then one day I'll decide, all right, time to have a family, and I'll have my own family, and then the cycle will be complete. I'll keep continuing a new circle, right? And so, personally speaking, after everything, looking at everything like that, right? Looking at it from the macro, I'm happy about that, right? I was able to see how small and insignificant my whatever my own inner turmoil about this situation, working a place, I'm like, yeah, I'm unhappy here, I'm good at the job, I'm complacent, you know what I mean? I'm just bored, right? You're doing the job and you're bored. And it's not just the bored, it's like you have incompetent people. It really is. I will give Aaron Clary credit. I will give him credit. Okay? Credit where credit is due. A high IQ is cursed. There is a curse to it. And what I mean by that is, if you are surrounded by a sea of idiots, right? And a sea of what I would like to call a sea of, I wouldn't even say complacency, because complacency means you already were good at the job. So that's not even that. It's this unwelcomed, undeserved entitlement of this entitlement of success when these people haven't even achieved level 1, right? You got people complaining about other people getting, it's crabs in the bucket, right? That's the curse, is you are surrounded by crabs in a bucket. So you have to navigate your life so then you don't end up being stuck there, right? But that at the same time, don't make yourself, your inner self, right? Inside yourself, in your mind and your soul, don't let it invade you, right? You know what you got to do, but don't allow that to invade you. And that was my mistake, was, working on the escape plan. But at the same time, it invaded me, right? So the crabs were inside, but that's terrible. I'm not gonna win. That's awful. This episode is brought to you by slip-ups. This whole episode is a bunch of slip-ups. It's very quotable. Please don't quote it. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, the experience of looking out in the macro and seeing it finally, for what it truly is, and knowing that, I could just walk out the door, whatever, it's freeing. I truly do feel like a weight's been lifted. I don't even care, right? Whereas in the past, I'd be like, oh my God, 2 more days, 1 more day, 7 hours to getting back there, 2 hours, I don't care, right? Because, and a lot of us have been in this position before. I've been in this position before with a previous job many years ago, where it's like, I'm in a spot, unhappy. I think that was actually right after the economy crash. I got another job. after I was laid off my previous job, where everybody was laid off from that job, and I went into another job, and I hated it, absolutely hated it, right? And so I think that was like that cycle was like the first time I experienced, oh, I hate it here, and it's invading my soul. Don't let that happen to you, because once it invades your soul, it really carries with you wherever you go, and it really makes the rest of your life kind of, it's almost like my life has been black and white, you know, up until this point. Like the colors were muted up until like this week, and it's interesting how that changes you. I do believe truly that family and being able to interact with someone in your personal life, someone you can either, even if you consider them family and they're like that close to you, right? You know, if there's someone like lifelong person you had interactions with and they are that close to you, I truly believe you are getting like it's almost like you're recharging. You are recharging your soul when you do that. Not only your mind, but your soul. Because now you can just go out there and get the thing done that you need to do, and it's not a big deal. It's like taking out the trash. You really are just taking out the trash versus like you're swimming in the trash. You can't get out of the bag. You're swimming in it. You're like, how do I get out? I can't get out. You can't get out, you know? So how are you going to take the trash out if you're in the bag too? It's not possible. You know, you're going to end up throwing yourself out too. But you get my point. And so I learned a lot. That was very helpful for me. I also want to talk a little bit about Andrew Tate. Now, I know some people are like, what, you're talking about Andrew Tate again? Now, I do want to talk about it. I want to mention him just because he said something. I remember seeing a YouTube short about him talking about family, because I've heard him talk about family all the time. But there was a clip that really stood out to me, and I want to show you this. And it has to do with family. You know, you have the aspect of family, but also a very Eastern aspect, which I have an Eastern family. A very Eastern aspect, which is the aspect of, you know, you represent your family, right? Your name, you know, who you are, right? You are a representative of your family. So whatever you do is like attributed to your family. So if you succeed and you do great things, people are gonna talk some good stuff about your family. It's gonna look great, right? And again, I'm not saying you should be worried about what other people's opinions are. That's not the point. The point is an inner self-esteem, it's building self-esteem, it's building confidence, it's building self-worth when you do good things, because you know you're building self-worth for your own family as well, because it's a feedback loop. Again, the feedback loop. You are creating something good, they are creating something good back, and then the cycle continues, right? So you are escalating up, you are improving, right? Not, you know, getting worse. Not getting worse. That's not the goal here. It's to get better. Let me see. I want to show you that clip. And again, it has to do with, again, shame. It has to do, because shame is a part of it, right? Shame means if you did something that it speaks ill of the family, people are going to say, hey, you know, how was this person raised? How did that happen? What's wrong with this person? Again, that's the dark side of it. But again, the dark side only exists if the positive side exists. It's not like going to be just only negative. So let me find that for you. I think I have it right here. If I can load it up. Not that one. It's gotta be, I thought I had it. I had it. I swear I had it. I know what I'm doing, guys. I think it's this one. Yeah, that's the one. And let me switch it up. Here we go. Hopefully it's up. It is up. Good. All right. I want to listen to it too. Hopefully the desktop. Yes, it is. Okay. The audio is up. Let's go. Let me see if I can just. Okay. Let's play this.
5 years in Romania, a drunk girl. They drink and they have fun. You'll never see one stumbling. You'll never see one fall over. Do you know why? Because it brings shame on the family, and people will talk, and her father will kick her ass, so they won't do it. I was in a taxi and it was 3 a.m. and these two girls were walking. We were in the taxi and they were walking through the park. And I said, I still find it very strange that girls walk alone at night here, everywhere, and there's no problems. And the taxi driver said to me, yes, but they're Romanian girls. A Romanian wouldn't hurt a Romanian girl. As in, it's like, why would someone hurt her? Because we're all Romanians. That's completely gone from the West.
Okay, so first, let's talk about the first part. I like that first part where they talked about the shame, right? The shame aspect. Again, the dark side doesn't exist without the good side, right? And the good side is, the good side is you can't have, someone behaving a certain way, and then the family looks good on them. It's not going to work that way. You behave a certain way that's good, the family's going to look good. If you behave in a way that's negative, it's going to look bad on the family. That's just how it works. It's like sports. It's like sports. If you do a good play, the team gets a point. If you do a bad play, the team gets penalties. You know what I mean? You get scored on. So that's not good. And then of course there's the community aspect of it, where it reaches out to even further from the family unit into the cultural unit, right? Which is the next step, right? The community unit, right? So people are now seeing each other as people. They're not seeing each other as prey, right? And as a result of that, they treat each other like human beings. And that's only really possible if the family unit is also, functioning, stable. That's not to isolate anybody. That's just the facts. If you have a family, if you have a whole culture of people who have a family unit that's together, that have their, life together, they have their goals and their dreams and everything, and they're working cohesively together, and their family is functioning and not dysfunctioning, then human beings are going to treat each other pretty much like human beings for the most part, right? For the most part, with a few exceptions here and there, for the most part, people will do that because they are coming from a place of values. It's a functioning family. You're learning to grow up with, good values, and they're actually acting on those values. That's the important part, right? When you're raised with good values, you tend to, live life with those values. That's becomes internalized to you, right? That's the way that's like the code in your mind, the code in your brain. It comes from the information that your parents have given you. If your parents didn't give you that, or you didn't get that when you were young, you're probably going to behave in a different way that's probably negative. It's just reality, especially if it's corporate, which is what you see today with kids being raised on the tablet and, through the social media. That's why it's dangerous to let your kids actually use social media when they're young and their brains are still able to they're being wired. Their brains are still kind of flexible that way. That's why kids are also able to learn languages a lot easier than adults, because they rewire their brain. They're able to make those new connections in their brain a lot more effectively than a grown adult, right? So you have to be careful not to let your kid get programmed. You have to be the one to give your kid the right software, which is good values, so that they don't become somebody who is, the likelihood of them becoming somebody who is, a bad actor. I'll just say bad actor, is a lot less likely. So I'll just say that. All right, here we go.
So that was mind-boggling to me. Romania has no economic prosperity, but they have morality. It's the most Christian country in the world, 99.9% Orthodox Christian. I've been on dates with 27-year-old women who have to be home at 10 o'clock because their father said so. Their families stick together.
That is, oh my God, that's so true, dude. I definitely had that experience where I'm taking a girl out and the dad just says 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 8 p.m. please, thank you, and I'm like, all right, that's when they'll get there. That's when they'll be home, and you'd be surprised, when a family is raised religiously, or if they're raised with really, really strict values, you're going to be, you will find yourself oh, okay, so this is the system. Okay, all right, works for me. Because then at the end of the day, there is a whole code of conduct that they operate under, and that this person has probably been raised with good values, like with the morality, just like he was talking about, just the morality. That aspect is so important. People really undervalue that whole concept of like being raised, under a code of conduct. That doesn't mean like you're a robot. It just means you're a human being with actual like what you call it, a conscience, right? You don't you're not gonna be like sneaking around. The sneaking around aspect is a lot less likely. That's not all the time, but it's usually the case. All right, there we go.
They have no social welfare programs, no disabled people programs, nothing. It's the family look after them. But there's no old people home. Family looks after them. All these things we have in the West, they have none of it. It's just family. Family takes care of all those problems.
I just realized something. All the countries that are having problems right now, they all have like these like high-end programs that are the whatchamacallit, the safety net. I didn't think about that. I never thought about that until now. That's crazy. This whole time, like, and yeah, we talked about in the past about the marriage thing. That's we already know. That's pretty common. That's common knowledge. But I'm talking about like disability and how that contributes. This is crazy. No, now I understand why the government promotes certain things. This is dangerous. This is scary stuff. You guys, be careful out there. Don't you think you're taking a program and you're like, oh, I'm getting helped by the government. Nope, don't do it. Find another way. If you have a family that, it's definitely find another way. This is good. This is good information. I'm learning about this now. This is crazy.
I've never seen in my 5 years in Romania a drunk girl. They drink and they have fun. You'll never see one stumbling. You'll never see one fall over. Do you know why? Because it brings shame on the family. People will talk, and her father will kick her ass, so they won't do it. I was in a taxi.
All right, so that was that aspect. I wanted to just talk about that. Let me go ahead and send it on back to the main. There we go. Okie dokie. How dare you have standards, right? Oh man. Oh, this is so much. I could talk about this stuff all the time. You know what's funny too? I gotta show you something, guys, and I don't mean to poo-poo on somebody else's channel, but I gotta say, this I had to mention. This only happens when, this is the kind of thing that happens when you don't have a really good family. This is something that happens to you when you have a really good family. Just one aspect. It's not the only thing, but it's one of the things. Let me find it. It's right here, but I don't have the thumbnail's gone. It's okay. That's fine. You have this channel, which is, you have this channel here called Cole Hastings, and he talks about people's purposes and stuff like that, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. That's not what I'm criticizing. What I'm making a note of is I'm saying, look at the title of the episode. It's called Why You Can't Find Your Purpose. Listen guys, okay? Your purpose is only a factor of three things. It's the trifecta. I shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake. The trifecta, right? It's something you're passionate about, obviously, right? Something that, you have a skill in, right? Something you're skilled in, and then something that it's going to make you an income, right? It's going to make you income. So most people don't have the second two. Sometimes they have the first two. Sometimes they have one, the last one, right? The thing that makes the money, and they're miserable, right? Like if you're a doctor and you hate it, actually, you were pushed into it, which is what a lot of families have now. A lot of young people now suffering from that. I know some people in my life right now who are doctors who are not happy at all. Oh man, I'm so sorry. But listen, that's not the end of the world. It's fine. That's life. That happens. It's not a big deal. My point is this, right? Purpose is those three things, the combination of those three things. We talked about the trifecta before. I've mentioned it before. Your happiness is all about finding something that gives you fulfillment, something you love to do, right? You love it, you're good at it, right? You can do it. You're very effective at it, which means you're competitive, which means you're not gonna be, you're not gonna be second rung. You're not gonna be, unprofitable at it, right? And then the last thing is it's profitable, because sometimes you are good at it and it is something you're passionate about and it doesn't make any money, which that's a harsh reality. So you find those three things, you have your purpose. I mean, that's like your number one purpose. Now, what's another thing you can do? You can add other things to it. You can build a family. That's one thing that gives people fulfillment. And I think that's like the natural way humans have had fulfillment. That's not the only way you can have fulfillment. You can start other hobbies, projects, businesses, whatever, something that you can, or you can, that's a little bit more complicated. I was gonna say you can find yourself a second wife, which that's like a whole other can of worms. Because someone was like, you can spin plays or whatever, and I'm like, let's just hold that for a minute, okay? They're not ready for that. The people who are like, what's my purpose? They're not even ready. That's not even on the table. That's like, that's not even in the building. That's another building, okay? You have to have your life together before you even consider that kind of thing. But my point is, that's the way you approach life, right? You don't need a YouTube video to tell you that. Now, obviously, the people who are looking for that stuff, they're way lost. That's not an insult to them. That they are that lost. They're typing it in, looking for that. Because look at all those views, 88,000 lost people who are like, yo, how do I find my purpose? What is my purpose? What is life? Not making fun of them. I'm just pointing it out. That's a factor of like not having like that key, background, that family, that dynamic, that upbringing that tells you, hey, this is something that you're interested in. You already grew up knowing that, and then you have people around you who have succeeded in other things, and now you say, okay, that's possible. Okay, this person I know is a doctor. This person I know is a lawyer. This person I know is whatever. It doesn't matter what they are. An engineer. This person is a carpenter. Whatever it is, right? Those things are possible because you've seen that happen within your, unit or whatever, within your community, and now it's internalized to you. So you can look at that and say, do I want to do that? Is that the experience I want to do? And then you kind of build your own inner, you're building your own inner belief system of what you want to do and what you're willing to learn and what you're willing to put your time and energy into crafting into something big, and try to become an expert in. And then that creates a feedback loop of you becoming good at it. You feel fulfillment from it. You get confidence from it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that's like the key secret that people are missing. And that only is possible with a family for the most part. Like, unless you have, the really rare situation of having somebody else in your life who cares about you enough, who's not your family, who becomes your family, right? Almost like, almost in a weird foster kind of way, right? Somebody who's like a good, that kind of a friend or mentor, that's rare. You are very rare when that happens, and that's great. Cherish that. You are blessed. Unless that happens, then yeah, you're probably screwed if you don't have that or a family, someone who, people who care about you. Basically, without people who care about you, right? It's gonna be a rough road. You're gonna have to really figure it out, and then you end up YouTube and stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. Again, not poo-pooing the people trying to figure it out. I want them to figure it out, and I hope this video helped them. But I just wanted to point that out. Like, look at the numbers. That's no small number. And let me tell you something. There's a lot of people on his channel, like, watching a lot of his other videos that are even more lost. I'm just saying. And he's just a guy. He was also lost too, not too long ago, right? He was lost as well. So it's just kind of a testament to kind of show you the landscape of what the future holds. A lot of lost people, lost leading the lost, as the kids say. That's why I say cherish the family you got. Utilize them, make it happen, make it work for you. Let me go ahead and get to the main screen. Yeah, utilize the family you got, make it work for you, and don't let anyone hold you down, man. Make it your superpower. All right, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your time, and man, this was fun. I forgot how fun this was. We're gonna still do Monday. I like the Monday, Wednesday, Friday dynamic. We're gonna keep doing that. That's gonna be the schedule. I like doing that. It may be an audio, it may be a video, it may be a live stream. I think that's a good way to do it. Anyways, take it easy. God bless you. Have a great day. See you next time.